Hello again, everybody. Welcome to the Backbone Podcast, where common sense still makes sense in a world that is sick and only getting sicker. And yesterday we had a great story, a wonderful story, and events that are just they make you have hope and faith in the world as the younger generation, the Gen Zers, are seeing that God is the way. And all of this nonsense, this transgender, alphabet mafia, agnostic way of going is just not going to help you. It's not going to bring you salvation. It's not going to make your life better. And a lot of them are going back to God's church, Jesus's church, the Catholic Church, because they're seeing that these other denominations out there, these other protesting denominations, just aren't filling the bill. Playing guitar on stage and jumping up and down and playing with snakes and talking in tongue, that's demonic. It's awful. And today I'm going to show you the opposite. I'm going to show you this cretin that is on screen here. His name is Skip Bayless. Now, if you don't know who he is, don't worry, nobody else does. He's a man that's trying to, well, he's not a man, he's a little boy, an old wrinkled boy who's trying to stay relevant. He was fired from his sports position. I think he was on ESPN or Fox Sports, one of the two. He was fired because he wasn't relevant anymore. People didn't want to watch him. People don't care about his opinions. And now he tries to shock people with stupidity. Now, if you shock people and you're smart or bright, you can make a career out of it. But Skip isn't smart. Skip isn't bright. Skip is a woman. He's emotional. He's stupid. And he tries whatever he can to stay as relevant and as in the game as he possibly can. And it's just not working anymore. And he should go away. Now, why am I covering this story? Well, because it just goes to show that Satan will use anybody and anything at any time to try to dismay people from going home. If you haven't heard the story, this football player named Travis Hunter, I think he's like a rookie, I believe he is. He plays for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And last week, he decided before the football game to get baptized. Now, why is this a big deal? Well, because in America, we have chosen, like most of the Protestant denominations, we've chosen NASCAR and football over God. Technically, if you say you're a Christian, unless you're Catholic, you're not, but if you say you're a Christian and you're at a NASCAR car event or at a football game or playing football or driving a NASCAR, you're going against God's wishes and law because you're not supposed to do anything on Sunday. Sunday is his day, the day of rest. Of course, Skip doesn't abide by that because football is more important than God, and he's going to tell you himself. But that's what the big controversy is. This guy goes out, gets baptized because he wants to feel one with God. Now, he doesn't get baptized in the real way. He doesn't have it's not a Catholic ceremony. It's one of these things where he gets put in like a swimming pool and he gets dunked. And if you saw the baptism, there's a guy with dreadlocks and there's a woman there, which automatically disqualifies him from being a traditional baptism because never would a woman be there to baptize you. In the Catholic sense, there's God parents, God father, God mother, but she doesn't have any say in the ceremony except for holding the baby. But here is Skip being as ridiculous and as nonsensical and retarded as he can possibly be. We are not going to watch the entire 28 minutes of rambling because it's madness. But you can see he is He is close to the death's door as you can be. I mean, he looks like something out of a horror movie. Let's listen to Skip over here for our listening pleasure or displeasure.
So, allow me to tell you why there was no way that Travis Hunter should have chosen to be baptized on the morning of a 1 o'clock game in Jacksonville, where he plays, obviously, for the Jaguars. Not under normal circumstances, but here's the point. These are not normal circumstances for Travis Hunter, the football player. The Jags are using him so little, especially on defense, where he is the most gifted, all-time gifted, that Travis Hunter is starting to lose interest. He's starting to check out mentally on the Jags. So he was actually happy to be baptized on a game day morning.
So because he's mentally checked out from playing football, which Skip Bayless, how would Skip Bayless know that? He doesn't. He chose to do one of the most important things a person can do with their life, and that's get baptized. We should just hang Travis, just hang him from his feet. This bastard. He chose God over football. Unbelievable. What a disgrace he is. Travis, you need to do better.
Because football isn't taking that much concentration or focus or pregame mental preparation. Nope, not now. Now, I'm certainly not suggesting that getting baptized was any kind of protest on Travis's part.
Can you imagine somebody coming out and saying, I'm not saying getting baptized isn't a protest. What are you talking about? What is he talking about? What protest? It's supposed to be a celebration of I can't with these people.
It was just a stunning indication of where his head is at or not at right now. It's not really into football right now.
No,
I'll get to that point in just a minute. His attitude, obviously, in this case was, hey, they're not using me that much anyway. Why not get baptized on a game day morning?
Why not?
Even after they had one of the biggest wins in franchise history the previous Monday night at home.
I guess, and the sick thing is that Skip, it looks like he's reading something, so this is not from the top of his head. He planned this. He wrote this out, and he must have reread it, or I don't know if he reread it or not. But this is not like, a rambling of somebody who, from the top of their head. He planned this out. He wrote this out. And to think he's got 3 million people on X that are fans of his, that just goes to show you. That hat, by the way, I mean, my God.
Against Kansas City. Why not get baptized before a 1 o'clock game against a very good Seattle Seahawks team in Jacksonville? Why not? Last year at Colorado, my man Deion Sanders, spiritual to the core is Deion.
Yeah, right.
He utilized Travis Hunter 87% on offense and 83% on defense.
Who gives a shit?
And Deion told me before this Travis Hunter draft that he would, if he coached Travis in pro football, utilize him exactly the same way. And I am all for it 1,000%.
He's all for that, using him as a wide receiver and a defensive back, but he's not 1,000%, by the way. But he's not in any way all for Travis Hunter being baptized under God. Priorities.
Through 6 games so far with the Jacksonville Jaguars, Jacksonville has used Travis Hunter 63% of the time on offense. That's 24% less than Deion did last year at Colorado. And here's the killer.
Well, the killer.
39% on defense has Jacksonville used him. That's 44% less than Dion utilized Travis last year in college football on defense. Dion, by far the greatest cornerback ever. Travis potentially in his orbit, in Dion's orbit, especially as a cornerback. But I'm going to say this again.
Mm-hmm. Let's reiterate.
What Jacksonville is doing to him, especially on defense, is just so wrong. Again, if given the correct opportunities, Travis Hunter will revolutionize modern day pro football as a two-way player.
This is hyperbolic stuff. He's trying to keep your attention. He doesn't know any of this. Travis Hunter may suck. I'm not a Jacksonville fan. I haven't watched him at all. I mean, he must be okay. But obviously, Jacksonville knows something Skip Bayless doesn't if they're not playing him as much two-way as they did in college. And by the way, the Colorado, their schedule last year, they played nobody. And the people that they did play, they got romped on. So Skip is just being Skip.
Offense and defense.
He's being a woman.
Pro Bowls on offense, definite Pro Bowls on defense, where he will be ultimately the second best cornerback who ever played pro football to his father figure, Deion Sanders. Now, quickly before I continue, allow me to qualify myself on baptism.
Let's qualify.
With a quick bit about my spirituality. I'm a God guy. I was baptized as an infant in a Methodist church, Epworth Methodist Church.
Oh, there we go. Skip is a Methodist, and those are the psychos. They're not as bad as the ones that speak in, the ones that play with snakes and shit. But these are the ones that kind of speak in tongues. You know, they replace God with the script, with the Bible. And that's what Skip has done here. You know, he's replaced God with football. And that's why he's a sick person. That's why he needs help. But he doesn't think he needs help because he thinks his way is the best way. It's football, football, football. The scripture comes next. Not God now. The book.
In Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I chose to come forward and rededicate my life to Christ and to God. My first year out of college, this was in West Palm Beach, Florida, when I worked for the Miami Herald right out of Vanderbilt University. That day was very special to me and meant a lot to me, just as Travis's baptism obviously meant to him. I'll get to that. I don't even like to call myself a Christian anymore because now that's been condemned as this term for far-right nutcases, zealots.
So being a Christian, and this is the problem with these protesting so-called Christians. They are cowards. Total cowards. If in the 15th and 16th centuries, or even before that, the 12th or 13th centuries, when the Muslim invaders were trying to break into Europe and conquer Europe, had it been these people, these Protestants, these protesters of Christ fighting, and they didn't exist in the 12th, 13th century, thank God, we would not be here today. We would not be here. Europe would not exist today. It was only because of the real followers of Christ, the real lovers of God, Catholics, the Crusades, that we're all here today, that Western civilization exists. This is cowardism. This is not a man here. He's not a Christian. He's a Methodist. That's what he is. And Methodists and Protestants and evangelicals, they're not Christians. They're cowards. And he just proved it.
I believe in God and the Bible with all my heart and all my soul.
He believes in God, but with the emphasis on the Bible. Because he doesn't know God. He knows the words. He might even know some passages, but he doesn't know God. He's just like the rest of his Methodist friends. He's replaced God with a book.
So my life is dedicated, start to finish, to God and the Bible. I don't even like to talk about Jesus because that's crazy talk.
So he talks about the Bible, right? The Bible, from first page to last, from front to back, from back to front, is all about one guy, right? In the Old Testament, the prophecies talk about him. The Old Testament's all about him. It's about one guy, Jesus. For Skip, Jesus is crazy talk. These people will never stop giving me material, ever. They are almost like the Jews. And the reason why Skip won't talk about Jesus or Christianity is because he works for Jews. He doesn't want to piss them off by talking about Jesus and Christ and Christianity and the benefits of it and all this other great stuff, because it's going to piss off a certain tribe of little hat people that he's trying to get back into their good graces. Skip is a Methodist, and Methodists chase money. They're whores for money. That's all they are. They don't love God. They don't love Jesus. And Skip just told you he won't mention Jesus because it's crazy talk.
So people think in today's world. But I love it when professional athletes such as Bijan Robinson, Monday Night Football, had a breakout game the other night, and immediately on the field, live on TV, as he was interviewed, gave all the glory to God. It's a powerful message on a platform that Travis Hunter can ultimately take advantage of. I was so happy for him that he experienced such a special day,
But
a rebirth. To quote him, he said after the game this past Sunday, he said, "It's Sunday, it's God's day. I've been planning to get baptized for a minute. I changed my life over to become a better man." God bless you, man. You did.
you just ripped the guy for getting baptized hours before his game, and now it's God bless you on the most special day of your life. Oh, I can't with this man. So there you have it. From Skip's own words. Now, Travis Hunter's decision to be baptized on Sunday before the Jacksonville game is his personal choice. The Jacksonville Jaguars don't own him during, on his off time. So when they landed in London for their upcoming game at Wembley, because they played the game at Wembley Stadium in London, reporters asked a receiver and defensive back what kind of person that baptism made him. And he said, and I quote, "The kind of person I know I will be. Just respectful kind of person, loyal to my people," whatever that, well, we know what that means. "And just being upfront and being straightforward, just being a family person, being the same person, really just being happy, not a negative, and just being a better person." Obviously, Travis didn't do very well in English class because his vocabulary is shit, but listen, who cares? But as you see here in this rambling, nonsensical video, Bayless delivered criticism to Hunter for choosing to be baptized on the morning of the game, because it shows he's not interested in football, as if football is more important than God is. There was no indication that Hunter did anything against the rules of the team or to embarrass the NFL, unlike some of the other players that have humiliated the NFL and their teams and their fans. And for Bayless to go and call the timing of this baptism a stunning indication of where he, Hunter, his head is right now. It's not really on football. Who gives a fuck? So getting baptized before a game shows lack of interest in that game. What if the guy ate had lunch before the game, which feeds the body in the same way, by the way, that baptism feeds the soul? Is that a show of disinterest in the coming game? Bayless continued to question Hunter's desire and the drive for football. Who gives a shit? This guy, football, what's the average? The average career lasts 3 years. God is eternal. And I'm pretty sure Skip is projecting his religious beliefs onto Hunter and then would like to make his personal beliefs known, which he did. He won't talk about Jesus because that's crazy talk. He won't mention Christianity because it has something to do with right-wing zealots. What if Travis Hunter simply wanted to get closer to God? So maybe it helped him get confidence and make him play better. Yeah, it might be good to have the creator of the universe on your side, right? Skip should know, as he claims to be a God guy, which he's not. I mean, he calls himself a God guy, but he doesn't call himself a Christian. I got it. We got it, Skip. You like to wear the badge of Christianity, or as a Methodist, but you don't want to be shamed by critics, Jews, and get the backlash, which means you have a serious lack of understanding about what being a servant of God, a lover of Jesus and the scriptures and the Eucharist is all about. And I'll be on record for that. And there's my 2 cents. Thanks again for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Remember, my friends, Satan is always busy, and that cretin is evidence. Be a man, unlike Skip Bayless, and have a backbone, because masculinity and common sense are worth standing up for. And remember, if it ends in an ism, it's a mental disorder. We'll see you later.